and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is going to be the next part of our Compose Multiplatform Quick Notes app series. So in this video, we are going to implement the navigation, which means I'll show you how you can navigate from one screen to another screen. And also, we'll try to design a couple of more screens, which we'll basically be using for testing the navigation. So I'll not waste more of your time and we'll just get started. So let's just get to the code. So to implement navigation, what you need to do is that you need to add the dependencies. And to add that dependencies, what you need to do is that you need to go to the build.yodel file over here, go to the common main section, and over here I'll place or I'll paste the SDK that I took from the Android guide. Okay. So this is basically when you add it, it will basically be the traditional way of adding the values to this. But since we are using version catalog, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to replace that with this one. And once you do that, you will see something like this, which means that now we have this navigation compose over here added. Okay. And same goes for the version over here. So once you do that, we'll just sync it so that it just basically takes everything from there. Okay, so now once that is done, the next thing is to basically implement the navigation. So what we need to do is that we need to go to the common main section, and inside the common main section, this is basically a starting page. Okay, so you can see over here that we have some app that basically have a scaffold, which is kind of showing the home screen and all that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make a little bit of difference over here. I'm gonna add feature, and let's just add that feature, one more package into that feature, and call that home. That's one. Now add one more package and call it that as feature slash feature dot auth. So now you have these two packages over here, and the first one is going to be this, create a Kotlin class over here. It's going to be file and call it home screen. Okay. Now this is going to be their first section, and we will be creating a composable, call it a home screen function, home screen like this. Okay. And we will take this whole flow, like this whole scaffold thing from here, this and this. So this whole section, like we have, we'll take that into the home screen. So this is something we are gonna do. Let's add this one. Okay, it needs database as a parameter, so we need to pass that database as parameter as well. Okay, and along with that, we'll also take that add item section and this empty view section as well, because these are also supposed to be there, that file in the home screen. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll get rid of these two imports that we have done. Okay, so now basically I took everything and I basically added it to this home screen variable. Now from the app side, we don't have anything, so I'll just add this as database. Okay, well, that's one thing. But like I said, with navigation, we need a couple of more things. First is basically a section that handles all the screens and all, everything. So what we have is that we have two different things. Is a nav controller. A nav controller is basically a controller that help us navigate from one screen to another or from one composable to another. Second thing is a nav host. A nav host is kind of a view or like a layout that handles the different screens. So you will define a nav host, you will add all the screens that are possible, and then you will also assign some sort of keys to that. And with the nav controller, you will basically be mentioning that, okay, which screen we need to travel to. So that's basically a little bit of some basic stuff that we need to do. But I'll basically implement it completely. So you can see over here. So the first thing is going to be the controller or nav controller. So I'm going to say nav controller is equals to remember nav controller. Okay, so that is your first thing that you need over here. Second thing, like I said, we need a nav host. A nav host basically is supposed to have a nav controller as a starting point, and also it also need a start destination. Okay, so a start destination can be any class that you can define. We'll definitely be defining it as, you can define it as string. Along with that, you can also define it through serializable objects as well. For now, let's just say we have a start destination as home. So let's say if you are using a string over here, later on it will be a little bit difficult, but at least for now I can show you how it works. Okay. Now, inside that, what you can do is that you can define a composable. Okay. And that composable should have a route. Okay. And that route is supposed to be a key value. So basically like this. Now for this, what we'll do is that we'll place that home screen to this. Let's say later on we have more screens. So for each screen, what we'll do is that we will define a route for that. And that route is going to be, let's say, login. And that along with that, you will say login screen like this. So you can do these kind of navigations elements over here, and add any as much screen as you have, or like as it's required to have in this in the system. And once you do that, you can just run it, and it will see that it will basically be running properly without any issue. We definitely need to work with the other stuff, but at least for now it will just work as we were expecting it to work. Now you can see we still have the same clothes. Everything is working as expected. The only thing is that um, we now use a navigation, like we use it inside a navigation controller, so that for now we can basically handle how to navigate from one screen to another and how to do those things. Now, let's add an icon, a user icon on the top right corner, and it's supposed to be like grayed out when, like, or grayed a little bit when it's not logged in. And when it's logged in, what we'll do is that we'll show the username along with the, you know, with the icon or the email that user used to log in or sign up. So basically, I haven't added like very complex thing to the login and stuff. It's just very simple. And what we need to do is that you need to, so now over here I'm going to add a Kotlin class file, and let's call that sign up screen. Okay, that is going to be a file. And let's create a composable function sign up screen. And we might need a couple of things. For example, one thing that I'll need is a nav controller. nav controller And along with that, we might need something, but I think that should be more than enough for now. Okay. Now, the next thing that I need over here is that basically create a new Kotlin class and call it as sign up view model. So this is going to be a view model for myself, and that view model is supposed to be something that basically do like function sign up. Okay. And along with that, we might have something as, private well email is equals to mutable state flow of string underscore something like this. Okay. And that's going to be an empty. And then you will say wall email is equals to underscore email dot as state flow. We are gonna do the same thing for password as well. So let me just do that this way and change it to password. That's for password. And one thing is going to be confirm password. Confirm password like this. Okay. And what else? So that's that. Now this view model will be used inside the sign up screen. So I'm going to say wall view model is equals to view model. And then inside that, I'm going to say sign up view model since we are not using anything. So we are good over here. Okay. And now normally a sign in or a sign up screen is like very similar. It have a column. It should have a column, right? Column. Okay. And inside that you can say modifier dot fill max size. That's one thing. And along with that, I'll do is I'll say vertical arrangement is going to be arrangement dot vertical is arrangement dot center. That's one thing. And horizontal alignment is also going to be alignment dot center horizontally. Okay. Now this means that every item that I draw should go, to the center of the screen. And then we are gonna do is the first thing is going to be text, and that text is supposed to be something as sign up, right? And we should also be increasing the font size to 22 sp. That's that. Then the next thing is going to be some states for my uh, email and password and stuff. So I'm going to say wall email is equals to viewModel.email.collect state with lifecycle. That's one thing. And then I'm going to say wall pass is equals to viewModel.password.collect state with lifecycle. Third one is going to be uh, confirm pass is equals to viewModel.confirm password as collect with life cycles. Okay. Now over here, what I'm going to do that I'm going to save text field, or let's use the one with the outline. So I'm going to say outline text field. The value is supposed to be email.value on value change. So on value change is supposed to be something. And also I'm going to use a modifier dot fill max width. Okay. And then placeholder is also going to be a text. That's text is going to be email. And you can also use label as well. Okay. That's for email. You can add some spacers into that as well. Modifier dot size is going to be 16. So we'll use that like this. And now the next one is going to be for password and confirm password. So this is, as I said, going to be password. It's going to be password, and that is going to be confirm password versus confirm password. Okay, so I have all these. The thing is that you also need to change that. So pass dot value, and for this is going to be confirm pass dot value. Now the problem is this value change. We are not having any value change functionality in the view model. So we'll go over here into the view model, and now over here I'm gonna say function on email updated, and over here I'm gonna say email string. So this, or you can say underscore email dot value is equals to email. That's one. You can do the same for password update. Password updated. And last one is going to be on confirm. Okay, so you can over here you can say password Okay. So now that's that. We'll go back over here into this section, and now inside this section, I'm gonna say view model dot on email updated. We pass that as an IT for this is sorry not email. This is password on password updated. Okay. For this, I'm gonna say view model dot on confirm password updated, and over here I'm also gonna pass the IT into this. Last one is this one, or first one is this one. You can use view model dot on email updated and pass the IT into this, which means now everything should work as expected. In the bottom, you can just create a button with an on-click functionality and some modifier. I'm going to say modifier dot fill max width once again, and inside that you can just create a text field that says submit. This on-click mean is view model dot on sign up clicked, or you can just say sign up. So basically now you have this whole screen that have these functionalities, and that has some values that are being changed. Now we need to link this functionality into the app section over here. So like I said, we have this home. I'm gonna use one more screen and comment that, and let's just use that as sign up for this and pass sign up screen over here, and the nav controller should be passed this way. Okay. So that is one thing. Now we need to land on this screen as well. So that is also important, right? So for that, in the home screen, like I said, in the top right section where we have the title over here, you can see that we have this notes section, which have basically right now there is nothing. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to create a box over here, and inside this box, I'm going to say modifier dot fill max width. That's one thing. Right now you over here, you can see that there is no alignment. So I'm going to say alignment dot center. Okay, that's one. Second thing, or second image, is that basically we have an image. You can use painter resource, and you can say res drawable dot user. We don't have that. Also, we need content description. Okay, so now we have this user. We need to find that. Let me see if the Figma file have something. Okay, so now I've added that. So now we have this user icon into this, and now on let's add a modifier into this. Modifier dot clickable. Okay, and inside this clickable, what we are going to do is that we are going to navigate. So you have this nav controller. You should have this nav controller over here. So let's use nav controller like this and get back to that functionality. I'm going to say nav controller dot navigate. Now over here, you need to define that route or that screen name. Like I have sign up. So if you go back to the app section over here, you can see I've used this, right? So you can get over here and use that specific key over here into this to navigate to that specific screen. Okay, and we also need to fix one more thing, is that, and that is that we need to pass nav controller along with the database as well. And now let's just run it. Now when I run it, I should be able to navigate to the sign up screen from the icon on the top corner on the top of the home screen. I think I missed one thing. That would be to add the alignment so that it's basically aligned on the center end. So I'm going to say alignment dot center end, which means now it should go to the end of the screen. And also let's add some padding as well, and should be 16.bp. Okay, now let's just run this, see what happens. Okay, we are over here. The icon is there, but it's like too small. And when I click on this, you can see that it takes me over here. When I click back, you can see that it take me back over here. So basically this is working. I think the padding is causing issues. So let's just not add that padding. Or maybe if you want to add that padding, maybe we can do it over here before adding that clickable item. Now, if you run this once again, this time I'm hopeful the image should be a little bit bigger. No. So then let's add one more size. Okay, and that size should be 48.dps. And internally there should be a padding of 4.dp from each side, which means the image should not be very bigger, but it should be big enough to access this. Okay, now you can see that I have this. Now over here, even I don't know how to. Okay. Over here, you can see that I can add these value. Okay, so there is one problem. When I change this value, it's also update this, so which means that I have mixed up something. Yes, I need to make sure that I change that confirm password value with confirm rather than the email. And also there should be one more section in that screen, and that is to add a login screen, a login section where user can, click and uh, log in. And that is basically over here. I can say text button, and you will say already have an account, login. Sorry, should be this, and along with that it should be text, and that text should come on. That text should be like this. Okay, now if you run this again, we'll see that you have this screen. When you click on that, it takes you this to this section which have this. When you click on that, it should now this login, this screen should take you to login, or like change this screen into a login screen. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna kind of use the same sign in screen over here and sign up screen and change it to sign in. Okay, we know most of the stuff was supposed to be similar, and this is going to be also, sorry, not the view model, should also be sign in view model. Okay, and for sign in, what we have is that we don't have the confirm password, so you can get rid of that. And this is going to be sign in. Right, so we go to the sign in screen, and inside the sign in screen, this view model should be sign in view model. This should also be sign in screen, right? It doesn't have confirm password, so we'll just get rid of that confirm password, and also this field for confirm password is not required. And this is going to be sign in, and over here you can say don't have an account, sign up. Okay, so this is basically some stuff that I have done. Now I'll go over here and I'll basically uncomment this line. From here you can load that sign in screen like this. Now inside this, you'll remember that we did this, right? So now over here you can just say nav controller dot navigate, and now we need to go to sign in. So I'm gonna change sign in. Okay, make sure we use the same sign in for this. And inside the sign in screen, now this is important. Basically we know that the sign in screen is loaded from the sign up screen, and the sign up screen is there first. So in this case, when user click on that, we are not going to navigate. Instead, we are going to do pop back stack, which means it will go one screen back. Okay, now let's just try running this and see if everything is in place and everything is working as we were expecting it to work. Okay, now click on that. I go over here into the sign in Okay, I mixed up. It should be sign in as well. But you can understand what's going on, right? Right. And now you can say when I go back from here, it will always land over here and it will not keep on adding more screen to this. So I think uh, that's pretty much it for this video. In this video, we basically did is that we implemented the navigation, and we also designed some of the UIs for our login and sign up screen. In the next video, what we are going to do is that we are actually going to integrate the backend, how basically the backend will work, and we'll take it from there. So thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy coding. Bye. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you don't forget any update. If you got any question, you can join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Also, for quick updates and tips, you can follow me on Instagram. Until next time, keep learning, keep developing. Bye.